Once upon a time, in a village called Obodom lived its king and queen, whose names were King Obi and Queen Nneka. King Obi and Queen Nneka were blessed with abundant wealth, which also reflects in Obodom village. They had everything and were greatly loved and revered by their people. Also, their reign was peaceful as other kingdoms showed them solidarity over the years. Everything seemed perfect for King Obi and Queen Nneka. However, there was something which greatly saddens them. It was the fact that they have no child. Queen Obi and Queen Nneka had been married for 12 years and been on the throne for 11 years without an heir. King Obi had taken a second wife a few years back because he wanted an heir, and as a king, he had the liberty to take as many wives as he pleases. But one day, the second wife, who was desperate and mischievous, was caught sleeping with a palace guard, hoping that she would be pregnant and trick the king into believing that the pregnancy was his. The second wife and the palace guard were exposed by another palace guard who had seen them and did not cover their deceits. And so, the second wife and the palace guard involved were sent away from the palace. Because of this incident, King Obi never took another wife again, as he feared that because of his desperation for a child, another woman might attempt to trick him and succeed this time. And so, he prayed that the gods would give him an heir through his one true love and queen, Queen Nneka. Well, King Obi's prayer was answered on the 14th year of their marriage, as Queen Nneka eventually got pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. King Obi named his daughter Adaeze. Princess Adaeze grew up strong and beautiful. Now, Princess Adaeze, being an only child, the heir to the throne, and because of the circumstances before her birth, was overly pampered. From a child, she was allowed to have her way and was given all and whatever she wanted. She became spoiled and very rude as she grew as a result of this. She carried herself with so much pride and would punish the palace staff, especially the palace maids, for inconsequential reasons. There was one particular palace staff whom Princess Adaeze so much disliked and would always punish. Her name was Obagi. Obagi became Princess Adaeze's nanny when Princess Adaeze was 9 years old. Before Obagi, many other nannies had worked in the palace, but Princess Adaeze made her parents chase them away because she did not want any nanny and wanted to be free to be able to do as she pleases without an adult to watch her or supervise her. So, at some times, she would lie that her nanny had beaten her up whilst the king and queen were away and would demand that her parents send the nanny away. At another time, she would lie that her nanny had not given her food on time and claimed to have been starved whilst the king and queen were away, and would demand that her parents send that nanny away also. If her parents refuses to send any of the nanny away, Princess Adaeze would cry and cry for days until she develops a fever, leaving her parents with no option than to do as she has said due to the fear of losing her. But when Obagi came, Obagi was very smart and always found a way to know what Princess Adaeze was planning and would outsmart her and hinder her from carrying out her mischievous plans to send her away. And so, despite how much Princess Adaeze tried, she wasn't able to get her parents to send Obagi away. Princess Adaeze hated Obagi for this. Her hatred stemmed from the fact that she could not get her parents to send Obagi away despite how much she tried, and this was the first time. So, Obagi remained Princess Adaeze's nanny until Princess Adaeze became 16. Later, because Princess Adaeze was grown and no longer required a nanny, and because of how dedicated she was and how well she looked after their daughter, King Obi and Queen Nneka made Obagi the assistant chief palace cook. This made Princess Adaeze hated Obagi the more because she wanted her to get away from the palace. "Why don't you just go away?" she yelled at Obagi. Princess Adaeze hated Obiageli so much that she would spit on Obiageli whenever she sees her. Sometimes, she would throw objects at her and yell at her to stay away from her presence. This she does usually when her parents are not around to see this. Other palace staff who could not bear Princess Adaize's ill treatment towards Obiageli urged Obiageli to report the issue to the king since she had found favor with the king, but Obiageli would refuse. So, Princess Adaize's ill treatment towards Obiageli continued, and one day, Obiageli lost an eye as a result of the sharp stick Princess Adaize had thrown at her. Still, Obiageli did not tell the king the truth, but lied that the stick had gotten into her eyes by accident when she went to the bush to look for an herb to treat a severe chest ache she was having. One day, Princess Adaize was taking a stroll in the village with her palace escorts when a young girl accidentally spilled water on her. The girl was returning from the stream. She had seen Princess Adaize and was trying to greet her, but unfortunately, she lost her balance, causing the water she was carrying to spill on Princess Adaize. The girl apologized immediately, but Princess Adaize was already so angry and would not accept the girl's apology. Immediately, she looked for a stick in the bush, took the stick and began flogging the girl. All the pleas from the girl and also from the palace escorts fell on deaf ears as Princess Adaize continued to flog the girl mercilessly. Princess Adaize left the girl badly beaten while she returned to the palace with her escorts. Because of the pains from the whip, the young girl could not get up from the spot immediately and lay there for some time. And unfortunately, a poisonous snake crawled out from the bush and bit the girl. And because nobody saw her on time, the girl died. The young girl was the daughter of an oracle priestess in another village and had traveled to Obodom, which is her maiden village, to come spend time and take care of her paternal grandmother who was sick at the time. The young girl, being the first daughter, was supposed to be the next priestess after her mother. So, Princess Adaize, by causing the girl's death, offended the oracle, and so, whilst she was at the palace, she was plagued with leprosy immediately. King Obi consulted the chief priest to find solution and cure for his daughter's condition. "My own daughter, a leper? No way. Ezemo, do something very fast, please," King Obi said to the chief priest while he kept pacing in the throne room. The chief priest did some divinations, and after a while, it was revealed what crime Princess Adaize had committed, which the escorts who were with her on that time also testified to. The chief priest told King Obi that the young girl whom Princess Adaize had caused to die was the future priestess of Ezinwanyi, the goddess of justice, and that no sacrifice they offer would appease the goddess. However, he advised that if Queen Nneka traveled to the shrine of the oracle to plead for mercy, that there is a very high chance that the goddess would forgive the princess, because Ezinwanyi, being a mother herself, is highly compassionate to mothers and grants forgiveness to people whose mother go to her to ask for forgiveness on their children's behalf, no matter what crime their children committed. With this, Queen Nneka traveled with some guards as escorts to the village and to the shrine to plead for forgiveness on behalf of her daughter. However, Princess Adaize did not get well. In the period of 1 month, Queen Nneka traveled to the shrine thrice to plead for mercy on Princess Adaize's behalf. But the princess remained sick and instead got worse on every return. King Obi, seeing no result, asked the chief priest to further consult and plead with the gods for another solution, since the queen's visit to the shrine had not worked and he is not ready to accept that his only child would die a leper. The chief priest did as King Obi asked, and upon further consultation, he informed the king that the gods made it clear this time around that the only way Princess Adaeze would be cured is if her mother travels to Ezinwanyi's shrine to plead with the oracle. King Obi was confused and wondered why the gods had insisted that it was the only solution, because his wife had actually been to the shrine thrice, yet their daughter remained unwell. For days, he paced the palace thinking about the situation. Then one day, Obiageli asked the king to allow her to go to the shrine and plead with the oracle. I have taken care of Princess Adaeze right from when she was a child, and I consider her my child. Maybe if I also go, the oracle may think of me as her mother as well and may forgive her, Obiageli said to the king and queen. You must be sick to think that the oracle, who did not listen to me, would listen to you just because you look after her as a child, Queen Nneka snapped. Well, King Obi, after thinking about Obiageli's proposition for 2 days and out of desperation, asked Obiageli to give it a try and sent some guards with her as escorts. Well, to everyone's amazement, the oracle listened to Obiageli and forgave Princess Adaeze, and she became well. However, this made Queen Nneka uneasy as she had a dark secret, and so she sought to eliminate Obiageli. Once Queen Nneka thought of how she could eliminate Obiageli to keep her secret, the chief priest, through divine revelation, visited the palace again on the 3rd day after Obiageli's return from the shrine. When he got to the palace, before the king, he asked Queen Nneka to confess to the king about the dark secret she had kept from him. Queen Nneka, after a while, reluctantly confessed that when they were having difficulty with having a child many years ago, her mother had asked her to lie and pretend to the king and to everyone to be pregnant, and had brought a baby to her after 9 months. What had happened was that Queen Nneka's mother had seen a young girl in a certain village she had visited. The girl was raped and got pregnant as a result of that. The girl's stepfather chased her out of his house because of this, and that was when Queen Nneka's mother had found her on that day. She took the girl to a midwife and arranged with the midwife to keep the girl with her and steal the girl's baby for her when the girl delivers her baby. The midwife did what Queen Nneka's mother requested from her after accepting a huge sum of money, and lied to the girl that her baby was stillborn whilst keeping the baby away from her for some time. Well, Queen Nneka did not know who the girl was, as the girl was kept in another village. It was her mother who arranged everything, and she accepted the baby as she was desperate to give the king an heir at that time. Later, Queen Nneka's mother died when Princess Adaeze was 6. So, when Princess Adaeze had suffered the leprosy and the chief priest asked that the mother go to the shrine and seek for forgiveness on behalf of her, Queen Nneka was troubled, as her late mother never revealed to her the biological mother of Princess Adaeze, because she told her that it was better that way to keep their secrets. When Queen Nneka was done, Obiageli also spoke. She revealed that she was the young girl and that she was told that her baby was stillborn. But when she moved to Budumbalam village and decided to work in the palace as a nanny, she was shocked to find out that Princess Adaeze had the same birthmark on her right thigh and another one on her lower back, just as she did one day whilst bathing young Princess Adaeze. Obiageli said that she doubted that the birthmarks were a coincidence because her own grandmother also had the same birthmark on the same parts of the body, making it 3 generations. And from then, she suspected that Princess Adaeze could be the baby that was taken away from her. And that was why she had stayed and loved Princess Adaeze unconditionally, despite all she did to her. Obiageli said that the event with the oracle proved that she was right about her suspicion. The oracle did not listen to Queen Nneka because, aside not being the real mother of Princess Adaeze, her heart was also not pure because of her deceit. Princess Adaeze, was now so calm after the leprosy she suffered, and who was seated listening to all the revelation, felt terrible. So I am not even a real princess, and had also been mean to my real mother all this while, she said, and burst into uncontrollable tears. She looked at Obiageli's face and found it difficult to forgive herself for causing her real mother to lose an eye. Well, through the power of the gods, the chief priest revealed again that though Princess Adaeze was not King Obi's biological daughter, she was still royalty because she was King Obi's niece. King Obi had a younger brother whose name was Kalu. Prince Kalu was adventurous and lived a spontaneous and reckless lifestyle. Because of his lifestyle, the villagers had earnestly prayed for King Obi to have an heir because they do not want Prince Kalu to rule them if peradventure King Obi dies without an heir. When Princess Adaeze was 2, Prince Kalu fell from a cliff during one of his adventures and died. Well, by the gods, it was revealed that Kalu was the one who had raped Obiageli during one of his adventures to her village. It was quite some revelations. Well, some rites were performed to accept Obiageli and Princess Adaeze as members of the royal household traditionally after everything. Princess Adaeze asked for her real mother's forgiveness, who easily forgave her as she never really bore any grudge towards her. Queen Nneka also asked for her husband's forgiveness as she had also tricked him and was no different from the second wife he had married. King Obi, after some weeks, forgave his wife also. These truths and secrets were, however, kept from the villagers and remained between the chief priest and within the royal household. 4 years later, Queen Nneka died from a prolonged illness. King Obi mourned his wife for 1 year and later married Obiageli, making Princess Adaeze still his daughter by tradition. The end.
I hope you enjoyed the story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.